Next on Nightly, OU students rally for unity, the airport killer well-armed and entrenched, and sure signs that Christmas is coming soon. This is OU Nightly. Tension is still high today on campus after yesterday's incident on the South Oval. A campus preacher came to OU yesterday to deliver a message of hate.
Much of the speech was directed towards African Americans, women, and the LGBTQ community. The new SGA president says he is disgusted with recent events, and while a lot of hate has been spread towards minorities across campus, it's important for students to come together as an OU family.
It's hard to be proactive, but we can reactive, and we can react in love and reinstilling hope in students who do feel despair or hopeless or scared and frightened and angry, because I'm one of them.
The run-in yesterday between racist instigators and OU students was just one of several hate-related incidents this semester. In October, white nationalists glued recruiting posters to the walls of university buildings. A faculty member and his family were subjected to racial taunts. Racist and white nationalist posters were taped to OU hallways. OU suspended a student for sending hate message to minority students at another university. Students have repeatedly marched and rallied against racism, and yesterday President David Boren ordered anti-black and anti-Muslim protesters off campus.
It's clear that the cumulative impact of all these incidents is creating tension and concern among students. Nightly's Anna Whitney shows us many of them gathered last night outside the College of Arts and Science as a show of unity.
Anger permeated the South Oval yesterday.
Remember this face?
I won't remember it because you're not important.
Hurt and angry students converged upon a man making racist and homophobic comments. They only dispersed after a call from President Boren. Less than 4 hours later, a peaceful gathering of love and unity proved some at OU hold on to the light even in this seemingly dark time.
You can snuff out a flame, but this kind of flame will continue to come back.
Students and faculty listened to their peers preach perseverance.
And it is up to us not to say that it's going to be okay, but to rise to the occasion and to do our part as a contributing member of a community.
And encouraging words.
As members of this community, I want you to know that your lives matter. As students, I want you to know that your minds matter. And as fellow human beings, I want you to know that your hearts matter.
As the night ended, participants wrote words of love and hope on luminarias that would stay there all night. Anna Whitney, OU Nightly.
And tomorrow, students will again take to the South Oval to show their concern for this time President-elect Trump's plans for deporting immigrants. The event, No Human Being is Illegal, will feature a rally and group photo. It kicks off at 12:30 p.m. President-elect Donald Trump announced he plans to deport up to 3 million immigrants with criminal backgrounds.
And Kyle Payne joins us with the latest on President Obama's warning to Donald Trump.
Today in Berlin, President Obama warned President-elect Donald Trump about joining forces with Russia. Obama continues to worry that siding with Russia will allow America to become a meaner, harsher, more troubled world. The president is spending his time in Europe promoting NATO and reassuring allies that Trump remains committed to the alliance. The nation's unemployment rate is reaching historic levels, the lowest since 1973. With a large, inexperienced labor pool, companies are hanging on to current employees. America's economy is on the rise, but Fed Chair Janet Yellen is likely to end the zero-rate era, which the government undertook to stimulate economic growth following the 2008 recession. The increase is expected to cause inflation to rise by 2%. And 4 southeastern states continue battling widespread fires. In Tennessee alone, firefighters are attempting to put out 67 fires spanning over 15,000 acres. To make matters worse, 7 people have been arrested for arson, the cause of nearly half the destruction. Air quality is still the main health concern. And Storm, guess who's going to meet this weekend? Donald Trump and Mitt Romney.
Wow, I'd love to be a fly on that wall. Thank you, Kyle. It's been a windy afternoon across the state. Forecasters at the National Weather Service are warning of an extremely critical fire risk. The Sooner State has also seen warmer than usual weather. Temperatures reached 90 degrees in Buffalo, Oklahoma yesterday, which marks the highest temperature ever reached this late in the year.
Wow, that's crazy for Buffalo hitting
Warm,
that high. Yeah.
Warm and windy.
Definitely. I could see the wind affected your hair this morning.
Sawyer, what do you got for us?
And well, it is windy outside right now, guys. We've got winds coming out of the south, anywhere from 15 to 25 miles per hour. They're going to start to increase tonight as we have a cold front moving through. You can see out in the Panhandle, though, they're up in the 30s, and we've got winds up in the 30s gusting here. But currently right now, it's still a little warm right now. It's 76 degrees, the south winds 13 miles an hour, and it is dry outside. The humidity is low. Now, right now, we do have some red flag warnings and some freeze watches occurring across the state. Those are going to be in effect for tomorrow. Cold front arrives, cooler temperatures, and your game day forecast all coming up in just a little bit.
Thanks, Sawyer. Oklahoma City Police say the man responsible for Tuesday's shooting at Will Rogers World Airport left his vehicle parked in the same spot for days. Security footage shows the suspect going back and forth to the airport using alternative transportation, but was not living out of his truck. Police say Lloyd Bowie shot and killed Southwest employee Michael Winchester from the 4th floor of a parking garage. The shooter quit the airline last year after refusing to take an alcohol screening. After killing his former lead supervisor, Bowie turned the gun on himself.
Still ahead on OU Nightly, Oklahoma emergency response agencies are shaking things up.
Plus, straight ahead on OU Nightly, OU students write letters of love.
Flooding, tornadoes, wildfires, and a 6.5 magnitude earthquake in Cushing, Oklahoma. That's what Oklahoma emergency response agencies had to handle during an emergency preparedness drill in Oklahoma today.
Be better at interfacing with the other emergency support functions across the state.
While Oklahoma will probably never see this many major disasters in one day, the director of the exercise, Tracy Bender, says the drill is important, especially in regards to the large earthquake.
Since we've had so many earthquakes in Oklahoma, and the largest that we've had so far is a 5.8.
It took a while for things to heat up, but once it did, Bender said she was happy with the response she was seeing. The last simulated disaster of tornadoes in Tulsa happened around 2 this afternoon.
And for residents of a West Norman neighborhood, relief is on the way. After a September flood, the Haven Brook Street Bridge started to cave in. The bridge is a main entrance to the neighborhood, a funeral home, and gas station. But the Norman Director of Public Works says the city has a plan to fix it.
So if we start next week on the Haven Brook Street Bridge, that's probably a minimum 90-day construction effort. That's pretty fast, really, in bridge land.
O'Leary says the weather could affect the time it takes to complete the bridge, but it could be finished in February if everything goes smoothly.
Sammy Steele joins us now with the latest on the rise in teen depression. Sammy?
That's right, Storm. Suicide is the #3 killer of adolescents, according to the World Health Organization, and depression is to blame. Researchers found that cases of major depression rose in U.S. teens from about 9% in 2005 to about 11% in 2014. The biggest increase was among the group that already had the highest rate of depression, teenage girls. The U.S. Preventative Services Task Force is advising some people to take a daily dose of aspirin. Adults 50 to 69 years old that take a low dose of aspirin daily have a lower risk of cardiovascular disease. Aspirin increases blood flow through narrowed arteries, so there's less chance of a stroke or heart attack. However, the task force says those younger than 50 or...
Welcome back to OU Mountain. We talked earlier about the storm system that's going to be making its way into our area over the next 24 hours and bringing with us some of that cold air. And it's already started up in Minnesota and South Dakota. They've got some snow coming down, blizzard warnings all throughout there, all the way back down into Colorado. And this radar shows a little squall line of rain. It's not actually reaching the ground right now. Just the air is way too dry. But what that's doing is that's keeping our temperatures still above normal. We're in the mid-70s across much of the state, upper 70s in the southeast and the northwest, so kind of in the middle, here in the middle of the state. And then tonight we're looking at lows, kind of a wide range. So we're looking at some showers and thunderstorms down in southeast Oklahoma, and those clouds are going to keep them in the lower 60s. And then where that cold air is funneling in behind this cold front that's going to move through, we're looking at near freezing temperatures up in the northwest. And so again, for highs tomorrow, we're going to be a lot cooler than we've been the past couple of days. We're going to be actually below normal. So we're looking at lower 50s across the majority of the state. And then once again, where the cold air hasn't quite reached down to southeast Oklahoma, we're looking at in the 60s. So like I said earlier, this is a large storm system. We've got the blizzard warnings where they're expecting 12 to 18 inches of snow, and then winter storm warnings and advisories all the way back down to Utah and Colorado. So you can see the snow here on our future radar. You can see this cold front starting to move through our area right around midnight tonight. That cold air, though, is still a ways behind it. It'll start to funnel in as we go on into tomorrow, mainly in the midday afternoon period. It's going to keep our temperatures low. The showers moving on off to the east, hopefully helped out with some of those wildfires that Kyle was talking about earlier. And then even in the northeast, they're looking at some snow earlier in the weekend. And then our next rainmaker is out in the northwest, and that's going to come on land, potentially bringing with it some showers and thunderstorms on Tuesday. So what's it look like on our 2-day forecast? Well, 53 today and then tomorrow. Gusty winds tomorrow, and then tomorrow night we're looking at our first freeze, and then clear skies and below normal on Saturday, and then we extend this out, and we're looking at getting back up into the mid-60s by next week with a 40% chance of showers on Tuesday. But overall, it's starting to feel more like fall. We've got this cold blast, and hopefully it'll continue on.
Yeah, there's a lot of snow on that national map. Are we going to see?
We're not looking at any snow here. Mainly the upper regions in Denver, and then up into Minnesota, especially where they're looking at blizzard warnings. But no snow here, and we just don't have the moisture to have any precipitation here.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks, Sawyer.
And there's some celebrity feuding going on in sports. Madeline Roberts is here with that and more. Madeline.
That's right, Storm. We have athletes and entertainers not getting along, and another Sooner is up for another postseason award, all while West Virginia awaits. Welcome back. It should come as no surprise to Sooner fans that OU wide receiver Dede Westbrook was nominated for yet another award today. This time it's the Paul Hornung Award, which is given annually to the most versatile player in college football. Westbrook currently leads all Power 5 players in receiving yards per game with 125.4, and only 2 FBS players have more receiving touchdowns this season than Westbrook's 14. Westbrook is already a semifinalist for the Biletnikoff and Maxwell Awards.
It means a lot to me. You know, growing up in a small town, you've always dreamed big, but at the end of the day, like, what are the odds? You know, and coming into the season, one of my goals was to be the best receiver in the country, and to see that I'm one step closer to where I want to be is pretty impressive, and I'm proud of myself, but I'm not done yet.
And Westbrook and the Sooners will be in Morgantown Saturday for a primetime matchup against 8-1 West Virginia. Oklahoma's defense has been much improved the last few weeks, and the Sooners will need a good defensive performance to beat Skylar Howard and the Mountaineers team that averages 31.5 points per game.
I feel like everything. I feel like it's been a complete U-turn from that game. You know, our intensity, our effort. Guys are making more plays. And I think the number one thing, too, is we're having a lot of fun while we're doing it. So guys are wanting to get back there each and every Saturday, wanting to get back to our practice on Mondays just to get better and just keep this going.
And the women's basketball team survived a strong effort from Arkansas Little Rock last night. The Trojans trailed by just 1 point at halftime, but the Sooners outscored them 34-25 in the second half. OU senior guard Peyton Little had a team-high 17 points and was 3 for 5 from beyond the arc, as the Sooners improved to 2-0 on the season with a 68-58 win. And after a 4-game skid, the OKC Thunder needed a victory last night, and they delivered with a close win over the Rockets. Victor Oladipo had a double-double with 29 points, a season high for him, and 10 rebounds. Russell Westbrook was, well, Russell Westbrook, with a usual packed stat line of 30 points, 9 assists, and 7 rebounds, and 1 earth-shattering dunk. Thunder up 3, Alex Abrinas inbounds the ball to Westbrook, and he dunks all over Clint Capella with the left hand, too. Just absolutely puts Capella on a poster to put the Thunder up 5 with just a few seconds remaining. Rockets' Eric Gordon would then hit a 3-pointer, the Rockets' first of the quarter after missing 10 straight. But it was too late for the Rockets as the Thunder come away with a close but crucial win, 105-103. Also last night, the Toronto Raptors hosted Kevin Durant's Warriors on Drake night. The Warriors came away with a close win, and Durant finished with 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists, and Drake was not happy. During Durant's post-game interview, Drake bumps him, and look at that stare down. Clearly, KD is no fan of Drake's.
Give me a taste of what the trash talk was like, what the what the interaction is like with your buddy there.
I don't give a damn about no damn Drake night.
looks like we have a beef. Don't you just love it when millionaire celebrities just get a feud going, guys? It's just funny.
Yeah. Yeah. He has a lot of beef with a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, I think
especially
he
in the
does.
Sooner State.
Definitely.
Thanks, Madeline. And we, Sawyer's going to have a look at our 5-day forecast coming right up. Thank you.
And Christmas cheer makes its way to Norman. Straight ahead on OU Nightly.
I'm Shireen Hashem at the update desk. Tulsa police say one of its officers was injured when a suspect he was chasing rammed into his patrol car. The officer tried to stop a pickup truck speeding near a convenience store. Police say the suspect stopped his vehicle, reversed, then struck the officer's car. And a district judge approves the $325,000 lawsuit against a Tulsa County Sheriff's deputy. The deputy was convicted of sexual battery and indecent exposure. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Shireen. The holiday season is just around the corner, and OU Nightly's Eric Payne shows us a Norman shop is already getting in the Christmas spirit.
Big day, but the Christmas spirit has already made its way to Oklahoma. The Christmas store of Cleveland County is running like clockwork to prepare for the holidays.
It runs so smoothly. Everything is covered. Everybody knows what they're supposed to do.
The store helps Norman families in need by supplying them with food, toys, and household goods in return for their volunteer time. For some parents, this is the only way to get Christmas gifts for their children.
So parents don't have the stress this time of year, and their kiddos are happy for Christmas.
The donations come from all across Cleveland County, with contributions totaling just over $300,000 between 2010 and 2014. Some of Santa's helpers stationed here, like Raymond Salazar, have been walking these halls for years, and there's a reason why.
It makes you feel really good to help other people.
Eric Payne, OU Nightly.
Wow, sounds like Santa's helpers are doing a lot of good in Cleveland County.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited about it. What can we expect for the weather though?
For the weather, it's not going to feel like Christmas here. We're still going to be a little bit below normal in the upper 50s. But for Morgantown, for the game though, it's going to feel and look a little bit like Christmas. They're looking at lower 30s during the game, and then west winds 10 to 15. And then even with they have some moisture in the air, so they're looking at maybe some snow, ½ inch to an inch of snow. So it's going to be a complete 180 from what we're dealing with here.
Wow. I'm glad to have more fall-like. It might not feel like Christmas, but I can Thanksgiving.
It'll be here eventually.
Will it be windy this weekend?
This weekend, Saturday, it's looking a little windy. It should die down by Sunday once that cold front moves on through and the cold temperatures start to move on out.
So storms will be okay.
Madeline said my hair was fine.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by the Gaylord College of Journalism and Mass Communication on the campus of the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night, live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.